There is a challenge that has lured men and women for decades, taking the wheel of a high-powered machine, pressing its performance past its design, recognizing and almost ignoring the dangers, winning races and championships, all to meet with the best from all forms of the craft, except now, they're old. But, matched in equally built cars for 6 rounds of high-intensity racing excitement, these drivers are here to prove, yes, that they may be old, but they are not obsolete. This is SRX, the Superstar Racing Experience. Welcome to the Nashville Fairgrounds, race fans, the oldest track in the U.S. that has continuously hosted racing events, most notably for the NASCAR Cup Series that may or may not be returning in the near future. But more importantly, this traditional short track is playing home to the final round of the Camping World SRX Series Championship. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mikey McBlam, your commentator and driver of the number 83 Valvoline Green Machine, and tonight, we close Chapter 1 of an adventure that will hopefully stick around for quite some time. The stars of the sport, past, present, and future, are about to settle the SRX Series Championship. The final round is underway. Let's get it on. Side by side into turn 1, advantage to Ernie Francis Jr. Oh, he slid up the track just a little bit. Tony Stewart tries to make it 3 wide. Can't quite get there. Inside. Oh, we got into Tony Kanaan sideways in front of the field. He saves it. Absolutely my fault there. I thought Tony Kanaan was lower on the racetrack. I thought he was going to go lower than he was. Totally my fault, but we got to fight for the lead here as we go to the inside of Ernie Francis Jr. into turn 3. Side by side, we clear him coming off of turn number 4. New leader, the 83. But here comes Scott Speed. Scott Speed is going to get around Ernie Francis Jr. Scott Speed has not shown up all season long, but he's here. Oh, he's looking to the inside. We make slight contact with him, try to pinch him down off turn number 4. 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the heat. I don't know if we got anything for Scott Speed. He seems to be faster than us. We slid up the racetrack just a little bit. Car's a bit tight on the new tires. We're just going to have to wait for the car to come to us. Yeah, I can't run the top lane right now. That's going to give the advantage to Scott Speed. Tony Stewart took a look to the inside there. He's going to look to the inside once again as we slide up the racetrack. We're going to battle side by side. Scott Speed out to a healthy lead right now. Tony Stewart's going to go on by. We're going to fall back to 3rd, followed by Bobby Labonte. It looks to be Bill Elliott. 2 minutes remaining in heat number 1. He bobbled just a little bit. Stewart bobbled a little bit. We're going to go to the inside. He's going to pinch us down off turn number 2. Can't quite get there. Here comes Bobby Labonte vying for the 3rd spot. We're racing side by side off turn number 4. Advantage Bobby Labonte. We're going to have to let him go. Try to get him down the back straightaway if we can. He's going to try to battle with his teammate, his old teammate right now. Meanwhile, Scott Speed is just in a zip code of his own. Scott Speed came to win this race. Oh, Bobby Labonte looking to the inside of Tony Stewart. He gives up the spot. We're going to try to follow Bobby Labonte on through. Caught the apron a little bit there. Whoa, loose off turn number 4. We gather it back up. That's unfortunately going to hurt any chance we have of catching Bobby Labonte. We got way less than a minute to go now in heat number 1. Right now, top 5 is Scott Speed, Bobby Labonte, myself, Tony Stewart running 4th, Bill Elliott currently running 5th, and we have pretty much pulled away from the rest of the field. So we got just under 30 seconds remaining in heat number 1. Bobby Labonte is trying to hunt down. He's trying to hunt down Scott Speed, but I don't think any of us got anything for him. He is just long gone. 10 seconds to go. Yeah, he's just pulling us, man. He's just pulling us. Bobby Labonte's... We're kind of sort of keeping pace with Bobby Labonte. He's pulling us just a little bit lap after lap. So we're starting to pull away from Tony Stewart. Final lap of heat number 1. And that 41 is just out front. Dominating this race. Scott Speed's going to come off. Turn number 4. He's going to win heat number 1. Followed by Bobby Labonte. We'll finish heat number 1 in 3rd. Tony Stewart and Bill Elliott round out the top 5. Castroneves, Bloomquist, Francis Jr., Kanaan, and Billy Ribbs round out the top 10 for the heat. All right, the field is going to be inverted for the final time this year. It's going to put us towards the back. Slower cars towards the front. We're ready to go green. Green flag is back in the air for heat number 2. See what we can do here. Full throttle into turns 1 and 2. Right there on the back bumper of Bill Elliott. Trying to be careful here. Oh, Elliott slides up the racetrack. We got into Bill Elliott and we turned him. Caution is out. Oh, man. I think we also collected, we also collected Scott Speed in that. My bad, Scott. My bad, Bill. I didn't think that he was going to move up there, and I had so much of a run I couldn't lift early enough. But here we go. Green flag's back in the air. Trying to get a little bit of a cleaner start this time. Going to back off. Trying to do what I usually do now is what I want to do is see how these guys are going to run. Okay, get to the inside of Bill Elliott, Tony Stewart. Oh, we're 3 wide for last right now. Oh, man. Big checkup on the inside lane. It looked like Marco Andretti was holding everybody up there. Marco Andretti now in the top lane. Yeah, it looked like Marco Andretti really held that old inside lane up as we made a big move on Ernie Francis Jr. to work our way into P11. Trying to hold up behind Bill Elliott here. Oh, no, another checkup. Every time they do that, it just kind of kills my momentum. About to get inside of Marco Andretti. Had a little bit of a Heat 3 thing going on there. Once again, with that contact, kind of shot us down the racetrack. But I was expecting it this time, so I kind of prepared for it. All right, we got Paul Tracy doing Paul Tracy things in front of Bill Elliott. Try to get to the inside of Bill Elliott. Now looking to the inside of Paul Tracy. Just going to go ahead and just rough him up, get him up the racetrack. Still not happy about what happened at Slinger. Still not very happy about what happened at Slinger, but he is now behind us. Now we need to protect from Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott's got a pretty quick hot rod here as well. Right now, the race leader looks to be Greg Biffle. So how about the Biff up here? Leading some laps here in the SRX Series. In the final race here at Nashville Fairgrounds, 1:30 remaining. Bloomquist is kind of trapped right now, contending with Scott Speed's trying to run the inside. We're going to go to the inside of Bloomquist, but that might have been a big mistake as Tony Kanaan is slow in front of us. Oh, man. Yeah, we might need to go to the high side here because Kanaan is just really slow. So we're going to try to follow Scott's Speed on through unless we can somehow get Tony Kanaan out of the way. Oh, yeah, he's really killing us here. Really killing us. I'm going to try to make the pass on the outside. I think we can do it. I think we have the speed to do it. Nope, he's still fighting back on the inside. Get back on the gas just a little bit sooner. Do we have the momentum? Tried to pinch him down there. Clear. Just under a minute to go. Helio Castroneves has taken over the race lead from Greg Biffle. So I'm desperately trying to hunt down a top 5 position right now with just 30 seconds to go here in the heat. They're being held up by Michael Waltrip. Bobby Labonte in front of me. Looks like also Scott Speed. We might be able to do something with him as long as Waltrip kind of keeps holding him up there. There's really nowhere to go. 3 seconds to go. Now 2 laps to go. Inside of Bobby Labonte's. Real close, side by side. Inside of Scott Speed. Can we make that work? White flag is in the air. Oh, inside of Waltrip. Oh, contact as we come off turn number 2. Still side by side, down the back straightaway. Elio Castroneves is going to win heat number 2. And we're going to finish P3. It's like Greg Biffle in that black car comes in second. Michael Waltrip fourth. Scott Speed rounds out the top 5. We have Bobby Labonte, Bloomquist, Stewart running 8th. Bill Elliott and Tony Kanaan will round out the top 10. And this is it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get the main event underway. Green flag is in the air. Thought about looking to the inside of Castroneves there. Decided to be a little bit more patient. We go to the inside of Greg Biffle. And we clear him. Oh, got a little bit of that Heat 3 physics going on there. That messed us up. That messed up our entry into turn number 3. Castroneves runs away with it. Scott Speed tried to look to the inside. We kept him pinned down on the bottom there. He had to let us go. Scott Bloomquist also made his way up to the top 5. Bill Elliott and Greg Biffle fighting for the 5th position right now. 23 laps to go in the race. Can we catch Elio Castroneves? Castroneves looking for his first win of the SRX Series Championship. Could it come here on the final track? Wow, really loose and sideways off the turn that time. That allows Scott Speed to get to our inside. Here comes Scott Bloomquist. Yeah, this car's really starting to loosen up on us. That exit of the corner is getting a bit treacherous right now. So we're going to try to do everything we can to try to remain in front of Bloomquist. Scott Speed and Scott Bloomquist are pretty fast right now. I don't think I've got anything for Elio Castroneves, and if anybody's got anything, we're just sliding off the corners at this point. It's like we're not even really driving off the corner. We're just sliding off of these corners at this point. Yeah, if anybody's got anything for Elio Castroneves, it's going to be Scott Speed. I'm kind of mired back here in third, and Elio's just pulling me. I'm watching the ticker go up there. He's gaining about a 10th a lap on us every time. So it's going to be Scott Speed that's going to challenge. We got to do our best to hold off Scott Bloomquist. Man, if we could just gain another position, I think we could have something for Tony Stewart. Remember, only 15 points separate myself and Tony Stewart right now. I messed up that turn, got on the apron, had to slide it up the racetrack, try to catch it off the corner, but here comes Bloomquist. Bloomquist wants to try to fight for P3. He wants that podium position. He's going to have to fight harder than that, and I'm not giving it up easy. We do have to be careful. So we start getting to battling side by side. That's going to allow Tony Stewart to catch us. Ooh, had a really good exit that time. Didn't slide the rear tires or anything like that. Just had a really good drive off the corner. Same thing here off turn number 4. 15 laps to go. Elio Castroneves, 4 seconds in front. He's pulling both on myself and Scott Speed. Scott Speed is pulling away, but he is not pulling away at the rate that Elio Castroneves is, and now lap traffic is going to start playing a factor here in a few laps. Elio Castroneves, I hope he can hang on. It'd be really cool. Like, I don't know who to root for. I don't think we have anything to challenge these guys. I don't think we have anything to challenge these guys towards the end of the race. Whoa, we got on the apron, pounded the wall off turn number 2. That's going to allow Scott Bloomquist to go right on by us. I still think we can fight for it. We can still fight for that P3. Couldn't do it there. Scott Bloomquist did really good to hug that inside line. We're going to try to do what we can to try to get back around him. Allow Scott Speed. Scott Speed's now 3 seconds ahead of us. And Bobby Labonte has overtaken Tony Stewart for the top 5. So Tony Stewart's still a couple of laps back. Man, if we could just get back around Bloomquist. Oh, if we could just get back around him, I'm not sure. I don't think it'll be enough still. But maybe if we could just get back around him. We gotta fight to we gotta fight to hold off Bobby Labonte because he is charging. Tony Stewart's fading, I'm noticing. He's still competitive, but he's fading as the race starts to go on. So this is interesting. Again, sliding off the corner there. 8 laps to go. Elio Castroneves has almost put a half a lap on us right now. Scott Speed trying to chase him down as we're doing everything we can to try to catch up to Bloomquist. And I know if I could get to his bumper. Oh, Bloomquist slow off turn number 2. We're starting to catch him. Diamond in the corner just a little bit. He's trying to run that protective line on the inside. 6 laps to go. That's not going to help him. Here we go, right on the back bumper. We tap him. Down the back straightaway. That seems to have helped him more than it actually hurt him. But here we go. We're starting to pull him back. 5 laps to go. Here we go. Right on his bumper. Oh, he's around. Scott Bloomquist is around. Caution is out. I did not touch him. I had to go back and review this a few times, but yeah, as you can see here, no contact was made before Bloomquist had gone around. I was actually really worried that I had gotten into him, but this overhead angle right here shows I got really close, but never actually got into him, and he just started to go around before I even got there. So, unfortunate, but I'm glad I didn't wreck him. Scott Bloomquist, I guess he just lost it on his own, but that's one of those things, like, just in this game, that's going to happen. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. Is this going to be the final restart of the race? We tried to look 3 wide inside of Elio Castroneves. Castroneves fights for the lead. He takes off. Oh, we got into the wall trying to protect the 3rd spot. Here comes Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart inside of Bobby Labonte. 3 laps to go. Scott Speed chasing down Elio Castroneves. Elio Castroneves looking for his first win of the SRX series. Oh, we're coming to the line. 2 laps to go. Speed's closing in on him. Can Elio hold him off? Down the back straightaway as they come off turn number 4. It's going to be 1 lap to go. Get up on your feet, folks. Who's going to win this race? Final lap. Oh, Elio pulled a gap on him. Elio pulled a gap on him off turn number 4. And, off turn number 2. And off turn number 4 for the final time, Elio Castroneves wins his first race in the SRX series. And we finished 3rd. Alright guys, so here are the race results for the final round of SRX racing here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Elio Castroneves, he got his first win of the SRX series. Make sure you congratulate him down in the comments below. Scott Speed went after him for the lead, but could never quite get there. He finishes 2nd. We come home with a podium. Bobby Labonte in 4th. Rounding out the top 5 is Tony Stewart. We have Bill Elliott, Scott Bloomquist, Greg Biffle, Michael Waltrip, Tony Kanaan, Ernie Francis Jr. and Willie T. Ribbs will round out. Oh, no, not rounding out the field. We had a few more drivers here. We had Paul Tracy and Marco Andretti will round out the field. This was not a field of 12. This was a field of 14 this time around. All right, guys, and here are the point standings after Nashville Fairgrounds. 5 points. Tony Stewart got the victory by 5 points. It was that close. It was that close, ladies and gentlemen, but the man earned it. I was giving him crap for being the series tryhard, but the man earned it. Most consistent out of everybody. He was struggling a little bit here at Nashville Fairgrounds, and so were we. But yeah, 5 points. That's one position, isn't it? One position, we probably go in tied, and then I guess most wins would win, but oh my gosh, Bob Labonte finishes the season in third. Then we have Bill Elliott. Elio Castroneves with his 1 win here in Nashville. He finishes in the top 5 in points. Michael Waltrip finishes 6th. Ernie Francis Jr., Tony Kanaan, Greg Biffle, Willie T. Ribbs, and, Billy Ribbs. Call him by his proper name. Billy Ribbs rounds out the top 10. And then we have Paul Tracy, Cody Swanson, Scott Speed, who finally showed up today. Scott Speed, Brian Brown, Bobby Santos III, Marco Andretti, and Scott Bloomquist, who also just showed up today. They were on it. Doug Kobe is the last SRX participant, and he finishes last in the points. He only raced at Stafford, I believe. He only raced at Stafford. Was it all that great? I don't think he was all that great. He did all that great at Stafford, which is interesting because he won at Stafford in IRL. So yeah, he didn't do all that great, but like I said, there's been some updates to the game. Obviously, the track locals, the local heroes are actually they've been boosted a little bit, and I'm assuming that you can always mod it if you're playing on PC. So let's move on. So anyway, that's it, guys. That is it. The final race of the SRX Camping World SRX series is complete. The SRX series is in the books. Tony Stewart is your champion. We finish second, just 5 points out. That's one position. We win at Nashville. It's over, it's over. But I can definitely tell the updates that they've done in this particular game. I'm glad I went ahead and did like a practice race here at what's the name of this track? I just forgot it already. At Nashville. I'm glad I went ahead and did that practice race. I just wanted to see what it was like on 10. I bumped it up to like 102 difficulty, and yeah, I was getting beat pretty bad. I was back like in 7th, 8th, 9th. I was like, okay, and I was falling back, so I was like, okay, all right, yeah, this one is a bit more difficult. So I'm guessing just for any future reference, you'd want to bump the difficulty up on Slinger, and I think it was fine for Lucas Oil, but you might want to bump it up a little bit on that one as well. Obviously, I was saying in the last race that this was probably going to be a full throttle racetrack. You can kind of do it, but you bog down speed so much. So much. And what happens is the AI just like, you start to slide up the racetrack anyway. You'll start to slide up the racetrack. The AI can just kind of keep it glued down there on the bottom, and then you'll wind up giving up more speed and more time and more positions than you really want to. So, the real way to go around here was the way that I was doing it, and that was just kind of like backing off right before you got to the turn and just kind of picking it up right as soon as you got off turn number 1 or turn number 3, picking it up right about there, and it seemed to gain me a lot of speed and keep the momentum up, off of the corner. Obviously, I had nothing for Elio Castroneves, Scott Speed. Scott Bloomquist was, I think, was probably comparable with time. So, like, same thing with Bobby Labonte. And I'm glad I went back and looked at that. I looked at that incident because I was like, I swear I did not touch him before Bloomquist started to spin out. And yeah, the aerial view saved me right there, because I looked and I was just like, I swear I didn't touch that man. because I saw him break loose, and I got off the throttle, but I still bumped into him like as he was spinning. That overall, I guess overall thoughts on the game. These cars are definitely a handful, but they're fun. They're fun. Like, I'm legitimately getting tired after the races. I'm just like, whew, that was a that was a thing. That was fun. That was a handful. That was a handful. But there are certain things where it just, you get that whole NASCAR Heat vibe, and not in a good way. They've done some updates where you've seen it, like you can bump somebody, but they don't move up the racetrack. They just kind of spin out right in front of you. And I'm not talking about the instance with Bill Elliott here. Here I caught him in the corner panel. That kind of made sense. But in previous races where I got into, like last race, and Lucas Oil IRP, I bumped people in the back trying to get around them, and they would just literally just do this lazy spin right out in front of you, and it's just like that's NASCAR Heat all over. You get into these guys, and I've noticed this too, if you get into them in the right way, it shoots your car off of them. So that wasn't the case. Like I said, a lot of this stuff was not the case when the game was released. You could beat and bang with these guys, kind of roughhouse with them, and they could take it. You didn't have to turn down impact forces or anything like that. It's like they could take it. But now it just seems, and I've run into it a couple times where like I just make contact with the guy on my outside, and it knocks me towards the inside wall. And like that's very NASCAR Heat 3 physics, like that ping pong effect or whatever, and where it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because if that were the case, if it were that drastic, I would get spun into the outside wall. Like that's the way it's supposed to work. It's like you make contact with your right rear and their left front. And if it's hard enough, obviously, you're going to spin yourself into the outside wall. But that's not what's happening here. It's basically you make that contact is made, I go down to the inside of the racetrack and have to try to save it. So they've made some updates, and they're not good, which is unfortunate. And like a lot of these games, it's a lot of potential. But we are... how many games into this now? You think of the 5 NASCAR Heat games, and you think of, well, let's be real. You think of the 4 NASCAR Heat games. We're not going to talk about Heat Evolution, but you think of the 4 NASCAR Heat games. You think of the, I think this is the 3rd Tony Stewart game. You think of all these games, and it's the same story. Oh, it's got a lot of potential. It's got the a skeleton, to build off of, but when you talk about like actually getting down to the meat on the bones, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. It's a fun now, granted, if you're just doing like offline stuff and just kind of, I don't want to say like mindless, but just want to kind of pop something in and not worry too much about what you're doing, then this game is probably perfect. And I think they were probably going for that, especially with a $40 price tag. They were probably going for that. However, if you're wanting something a little bit more in depth, I can't comment on the career mode, obviously, but if you want something a little bit more in depth, I don't think this is the game for you. I hate to say it, but in certain cases, there are some things that NASCAR Heat has done better than the Tony Stewart series games and stuff like that. So, which is, I mean, not much, but just a little. But overall, it was fun. It's not something that I would ever like pop on and play for year after year after year after year. It doesn't have that kind of longevity. So like just doing like a quick little 6-race SRX series, SRX series, excuse me. It's fine. You know, that's fine. That's fine. That's probably as much as as much as you could realistically take. I will commend them for updating the force feedback. It does feel a lot better. I can't speak to that on PC, but on console, like on the PS4, I have a Thrustmaster T150. It does feel a lot better. I did have a lot of trouble not really feeling the car under me, and offline it was really online it was really bad. On offline it felt better, but it was still there. And I noticed when I got to Lucas Oil that it felt light years better. It just felt so much better. The car really felt heavy and in the track. It always felt heavy. It just like I couldn't really tell when I was breaking loose, and got to Lucas Oil, it's like, yeah, I could feel that, you know, Slinger, feel that. Definitely here, I was feeling it the whole way. I could feel it, I could hear it. You know, it's just like certain things that they've made with force feedback updates. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. But overall, again, 6 race series, it was fun. It was fun. And that's kind of where I'm kind of leaving off with with this game. It was fun. It has a lot of potential. It has, you know, has the dirt series in there, and from what I understand, like there's people that really enjoy the dirt physics of it, and there's people that don't. And it's funny, like it seems like the people that play more towards like the simulation side of it do not care for the dirt physics at all. They like the pavement, but they don't really care for the dirt physics at all. And most people that were just kind of like wanting that arcadey kind of feel to it, it's really working for them. So it's all depending on what you want there, you know. So you can go through like the career mode. I will say that career mode is a bit weird. It kind of makes SRX out to be more than it actually is. You know, like here's the thing, like if you're growing up, you're going to go through like all of these dirt tracks and stuff. If you're growing up, going through all of this dirt series, then if you're doing that, you're looking to become the next Formula One champion. You're doing this, you're trying to become the next, you know, IndyCar champion, NASCAR champion, IMSA champion. Like you're looking to be one of those bad boys, you know. Like SRX is kind of like an icing on a cake type thing, you know. Like you're not going to go through all of these dirt series, which is great that they have them all, but you're not going to go through all of these and like, oh, I want to be in the SRX. It's the same thing with IROC, and it's like IROC was icing on the cake. You know, like the cake was all the other motorsports, you know. So they, like the career mode's a little bit weird in this game, but that's the only thing I can really criticize about it in terms of its, you know, I guess the aesthetic, or like it's just a little weird that SRX is the top echelon, and it's just like, no, it's not. No, it's not. But it is a great idea. I hope they continue it, and maybe they'll release another game, and maybe it'll be a whole lot better, and maybe like all of these complaints and all of this feedback will be taken to heart, and we'll get a even better game, you know, on the either the next gen in console or PC. So hey, looking forward to that. But until then, it's been fun. It has been fun. Second place, I'm probably the only person that hasn't won the championship on YouTube. I am probably the only person that has not won the championship on YouTube running at 100% difficulty. I am probably the only person that has not done it. You know, it's like I look at stuff now, like I look at Stafford, I'm like, I could have won Stafford, but I didn't understand the cars as much, and like I said, physics were a bit different. And dirt, you know, like everyone's better than me on the dirt. So yeah, it's like I'm probably the only person that didn't win, and didn't win by a hefty amount. But I didn't lose by a hefty amount either. 5 points. I was right there. A couple more positions, I'd have had it. A couple more positions. It was Knoxville that really, if I didn't screw up Knoxville so bad, I think that would have been a I probably would have won, but who's to say? It doesn't matter now. We finished P2. I'll accept it. It's been fun. It's been interesting, and that's all I got. That's all I got. So if you stayed to the end, comment below, hashtag GG tryhard. If you've been watching the series for long enough, you know what that means. You know what that means. So comment below, hashtag GG tryhard if you've been watching up until this point. Also, let me know if you've been watching, you know, the whole series. Let me know if you started from there, from Stafford. And make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe, because there's all other a whole plethora of other racing content that's going to be on this channel. So be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.